proud with that number. Lakers Raptors, your past two NBA champs, are sitting fifth. Big, 68-42. Every Laker player that attempted a three in the first half made one. Anybody who needs a three can get a three. Schroeder drains that one. Lakers end up winning 110-101.
Locker room. Lakers a dominant performance, guys. Both ends of the floor from start to finish, really. 7 Lakers in double figures. They built up a 34-point lead in that first half, and they beat the Raptors for the first time since 2014.
11 straight games, which, you know, it's when you play Eastern Conference teams so rarely.
Yes.
Over the course of a season, like if you play in the West, you might play an Eastern Conference team once or twice in the calendar year. So it's hard to get a feel for that particular group. But this was a great team win for this version of this Lakers team. Like, it had been a struggle at times, tough stretch coming up, good win to get tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto obviously going through some changes. Didn't matter to the Lakers. They came with a mission on their mind, and they stuck to it. The defense was on point from the beginning, and then they knocked down some threes, and that was gave them the energy. They got that big lead, and they never looked back after that.
You know, James, I think we focus so much offensively because of what they were able to do in that first half, but I think you hit it on the head right there. Defensively is where this team has to win games, and they've been able to stay afloat defensively without AD. Without LeBron. It's where their offenses struggle. I think that's why when they play well, we get excited about it and we talk so much about it. But you look at the 8 steals, the 7 blocks, that gets them out in transition. That's been the formula for this team to win over the past 2 years, and it was on display tonight.
That's their bread and butter. You know, that's what gets them going, especially this group without some major players and really no rim protector. They got to get it done early. So I thought, you know, the pressure on the ball, the switches, you know, the player of the game, in my opinion, that I liked, you know, Trez went out and K-Cott came in.
Yeah, he was
I watched him for about 5 minutes. He was talking, he was communicating, he was hustling, he was doing everything that the Lakers have been doing all year long. So for him to come in and step in, it was just contagious. The defense was, again, on point, and it led them to victory.
And I thought early in this game as well, like Marc Gasol's intensity and like approach and physicality early in this game really sent a message. There was one possession where the Lakers missed a shot, Boucher got the rebound, and Marc just went and just took it from him.
Yeah, you're going to see on the highlights later.
And the Lakers hit a 3, and that was the symbol.
Oh, this is how it's going to be tonight.
Of the first half, entirely dominated by the Lakers.
Marc was absolutely awesome. We'll talk about him in a little bit, but let's get back to Tampa. Marc Gasol's with Mike Trudell.
All right, Marc Gasol, it looked like you got a chance quickly after the game to say hello to Fred VanVleet and to Kyle Lowry. Of course, they didn't play tonight. Siakam, I think the only player from that title-winning team on the court tonight. But just what are those vibes you still get from that championship year with you and the Raptors?
When you go through a run with a group like we did, you know, you have a bond forever. You're fortunate to win a championship with a group of guys, not only the players, but the staff, you know, the staff surrounding the team, the media, trainers, everybody that, you know, that you spend time with, you know, it's so emotional, it's so special that you have that bond forever. So, yeah, it's always great to see them. And, you know, 20 years from now when I see them again, it's going to be the same feeling.
No question. All right, Marc, let's move to tonight's game. Look, the 18 threes, that's something that jumps off the stat sheet. But defensively, you guys really held them down throughout the game, under 40%. You had 4.
Talking, finishing possessions with rebounds most of the times, and then sharing the ball offensively, creating triggers, and then reading, you know, what was open.
Hey, I mentioned the threes that you made tonight. Of course, you also made 17 at Sacramento in the last win. They weren't going in against the Clippers, Marc. Anything that you've noticed from the 2 games where you guys were effective and that you could take forward from this point?
It might sound crazy that I say this, but we have to play faster. You know, we have to play more determined. When we have the ball, we got to, you know, create more separation from the action by cutting, driving. You know, when we screen, we got to get guys open to create, you know, that help. And from that is just read and react.
All right, and final thing for you now, you have 4 more games on this trip, which is technically a 7-game trip, but really a 5-gamer, right, since that home game was against the Clippers. That aside from what you just mentioned about the offense, what is the key, Marc, as you guys continue to try to make this push towards the playoffs?
Continue to build, continue to, you know, push through the challenges that we're going to face through these games, trusting one another. when things don't go your way, especially, and working through it. We have to stay positive no matter what, and things will work out.
Mark, thanks for the time.
All right.
I want to talk a little Marc Gasol, guys. Fish, I love that you brought up that play because I do think it set the tone and the intensity, and he obviously has a bond with that city, that coaching staff, and a couple of those players. A lot are gone now, but some are still there. 13 points to 9 rebounds, 5 assists. You look at that line, James, then you add in 4 blocks. Marc Gasol came to play tonight. It was big for this Laker team.
I mean, he is the senior leader with no LeBron, no AD. I mean, this guy has more experience than anybody. And like Fish said, he knows how to play the game, set the tone, gets people involved, plays pretty steady defense. And, you know, he knocked down some threes. And that's what we bought him here for, stretch the floor. And you're right there is the play Fish was talking about. Just ripped it out, and that led to a three-point play. So, yeah, he's doing his job. And I'm glad that he vented his feelings, got that out, so he could get back and focus on what we brought him here for. And this is exactly what we did tonight.
Yeah, and I think, it's never a good thing for guys like Anthony Davis, LeBron, Drummond now to be out. But if there's anyone that benefits from the additional opportunities for the ball to be in his hands, for him to be able to make plays, to get a few more shots at the rim, like James mentioned, the veteran leadership, to be a guy that everybody almost needs to look to anchor the team, it's Marc. Like, he needs that feel. Like, this reminds me of his teams in Memphis, where he was like the anchor of these other guys that were faster, more athletic, younger maybe, but it all revolved around him. And it's not a bad role for him to be in.
I think you bring up a great point. If you look at Marc's year with the Lakers, the numbers weren't what everyone wanted. But if you look at his minutes, they were mostly played with LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Correct.
So he wasn't getting the opportunities. He would have a few assists. He'd hit a couple threes. He was getting in better shape. And then COVID hit. It took him a while to get back from that. No AD, no LeBron. And now you're right. He is a bigger part of what they're doing. And it's showing. I feel like he's getting in a rhythm as well. I mean, I know he's 36. He's been in this league a long time. But even when you're older, you see it in every sport. It takes a while sometimes to find your rhythm, find your place. And like Fish said, more opportunities.
Absolutely. I mean, the more opportunities he gets, he's a smart player. He's not going to go out and try to overdo it. He's just going to be more efficient. And I think playing with LeBron and AD, he was still, impactful with what he was doing. So,
second best record in the league, James, when he was playing.
When they brought him here, I was like, smart, intelligent, been there before. Might not have what, Dwight Howard and McGee had, but I thought he would be impactful over time, and that time is starting to show with Marc Gasol, especially, like Fish said, with those two guys out. To me, he's the captain on this team.
And you look statistically, what he's doing, blocking shots, rebound-wise. Yes, he might not fly around like JaVale and Dwight did and catch lobs. It's a different kind of player, but still effective, still getting block shots.
Highly effective.
Yes.
The combination of the additional opportunities, more minutes with guys out, and then just that additional chip on his shoulder.
When Drummond came.
The Drummond addition, it's all, adding up to just really great, solid play from Marc.
Switch gears. I want to talk about a couple more guys before we get to the highlights. I'm watching this game, and it was one of those games where THT and Alex Caruso were clicking on all cylinders, both ends of the floor. We're used to them getting their hands in the mix there, big game, getting steals, some fun plays. But if you look at their line, it's almost triple-double. They combined for 30 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, and 6 made three-pointers. Now, you're not going to get that kind of shooting every single night from them, but Fish, when they're giving you the offense and getting out in transition and getting you steals, that is a nasty young tandem off the bench right there. That is a problem for teams.
Yeah, that's why they are both still on the team.
And they did not get traded.
Because they both do so many good things for this basketball team. We marvel at THT's ability to do some of these things, being so young and this really being the first year where he's playing what these two guys do. Like, the rest of the guys appreciate the way Caruso and THT play the game. And they did a lot of great things. The backcourt is in good hands with these two young men with the basketball.
And James, these guys are two players that were part of a championship team last year. I mean, THT played a little bit in the playoffs. Caruso was a major part in the playoffs, started Game 6.
They're dependable, very dependable. If you get beat on defense, you can count on Caruso for getting in the lane, helping you out, getting his hand in the passing lane. And Tucker, we talked about him learning on the fly. I'm really impressed with him, the way he handles the ball as a point guard, reading the defenses, knowing when to take a shot, knowing when to pass, and being aggressive. Like, he knows that LeBron and AD are out. So it's like he says, look, I have to step up. It's not like I can wait. And, you know, those two together, that's a dynamic duo tonight, at least.
No doubt. Great job with Tucker. All right, let's get you to the highlights. We got Lakers and